Good morning and welcome to episode 22 of my Citroen Relay van build series. In this episode I'm looking to improve visibility in the van by fitting a Wolfbox G900Pro. Looks like the parcel from Wolfbox has arrived, so I'm going to get to opening this up and let's see what we've got in there. Not sure whether I've got everything I need. I was a little bit confused on the website, so I just ordered what I've got in here, and we'll see whether it's sufficient or whether I need to order any other parts. Right, let's have a look. See if I can get this open without damaging anything. It looks very well taped up. I'll give whoever's done the packaging that for sure. So yep, that's my G900Pro. Ah, this looks like it's the mounting parts. So it looks like this is what you stick on your windscreen. This is what you use if you're attaching it to an existing mirror, which I don't have. And it looks like this is what you use if you don't have an existing mirror. Yep, this is the hard wiring kit. Gone a different way to a lot of people. I'm using the OBDII connection. I see a lot of people hardwire them into their fuse box, but I look online and I can't see anything that gives me concern in terms of using the OBDII slot. I'm not going to be using the OBDII slot for anything else as far as I'm aware, so I think it should be fine to use that. So that will make wiring it in an awful lot easier. Nice little tin box. Ah, this is because I bought the sort of the bonus pack or whatever it was called. This is a polarizing filter for the forward-facing lens. I've heard people say this, and I completely agree. It's a very large unit, and that's a very noisy plane. We live close to a little runway. This looks like it's the rear camera. I see, and it comes with a little mount. I'm not sure that cable's going to be sufficient, but so I wasn't sure exactly what I needed. They sold various lengths of cable on the website, so some sticky cable pieces, maybe some different types of mount there. Oh, okay, and that's if you want to power it up off the cigarette lighter, which we're not going to be using. We're going to be using the cable that goes to the OBDII port. And that looks like it's the GPS sensor, location, and another handy little trim tool. Oh, and these are for connecting to an existing mirror, which again I don't have, and some more adhesive. So it looks like what you get is pretty comprehensive. So I'm quite impressed with what they send you in the package. So that's all very good. Okay, so the first thing I've done is to fit the cable that goes from the mirror to the OBDII port, and I couldn't film while I was doing it. It was a bit too tight in there, but I'll show you all the bits I've removed and how I've got the cable in. So the first thing I did was remove the sun visor. There's a couple of bolts here and a bolt there. That basically holds this tight, so when those are removed you can pull this back. They are a 5mm Allen key. The second thing I did was there is a front cover panel that fits over here, which is just on a Phillips head screwdriver, and I removed that. And then there's a larger trim piece that goes on here which clips in, which has two T15 Torx screws on it. Why everything is completely different I don't know. And then finally there is another 5mm Allen bolt here, which is holding the actual dash on. And the reason I remove that will become apparent in a second. So the cable runs behind the head lining. You can then just pull this piece of trim off of the A pillar. It's just on some clips. You'll actually find behind there some unused cable clips, well, there were on mine anyway, which I've run it down. But then I needed to get from this point where the cable is behind the A pillar into here. So what I did was I basically pulled out the weather strip, I guess. I removed this bolt, and by doing so I was able to basically finagle the cable up here over where this would be, and it now runs from the back behind here over the top, and then the OBD connector will come into here. It's a bit tricky because the OBD2 connector is quite large, but then also this little don't know what's actually in here, but this little box with some electronics in it is quite large. I'm going to use some of the sticky pad cable clips that that come with the Wolfbox and clip that onto the top of the fuse box, I think, and then I'll try and fix everything up. And well, if I get everything put back together, I'll show you. And there we go. It's everything back in. I think it's pretty much how it came out. I don't think there's any major mess ups in refitting the trim. I managed to get that wire behind, put a couple of cable clips on there to hold it in place. Yeah, on to the next part. I'm now working on the cable for the rear camera. I gave it sort of a test run along roughly the route, and I think the standard one that Wolfbox supply is going to be long enough for an L4 Citroen Relay, which is good news because I don't have to wait for another part to come. So far what I've done is I've taken off the sun visor on the passenger side, and I've fed up a cable puller, and I'll show you where that comes out. I'm a little bit concerned because I've had to pull off the top solway panel. I hope it's going to go back in, but there we go. You can see that the cable essentially comes out through this area here. The cable puller was stiff enough to get down there, and what I've also done is I've then fed down along the cable puller some of this delightful yellow conduit. It kind of goes into the area of the head lining, and I'll run that conduit as far as I can, and then hopefully I'll be able to pull the cable through it. Got the cable through and into the conduit, and now I'm trying to work out my best route for that conduit. So cable's in, just about to see the black part in there. I plan to run the conduit along here, and then when I get to here, the plan is to follow where the cable puller is going, go up here, and then go through this hole. Unfortunately, my cable for the hole is 16mm and my conduit is 20mm, so I'm going to have to look to open that hole up a little bit with a hole step bit. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to catch the edge of the van there. Hopefully that will be okay. I'll have to check as I go, and then the idea would be to follow along the top until I get to here, and then I can come out and go up through my entry point and out onto the roof. I've managed to get the cable all into the conduit, and the conduit routed along the top of the door up through this section here. I'll need to push that tight for when the insulation goes in, and then I ended up enlarging this hole to 22mm, which would allow the conduit to push through. It was very tight. You can see I was catching the edge of that dodo liner there, but then it runs behind here and pops out here where there's plenty of cable left to go up out through the roof, through my multi-purpose gland, come out on the roof, and hopefully then be able to connect up to the rear camera. While the sun visor was down on the passenger side, I took the opportunity to also thread the cable for the GPS sensor, but I'm in a bit of a dilemma now. The Wolfbox instructions suggest fitting the GPS sensor on the dashboard. I'd much rather have it just tucked away in the corner of the windscreen, but it says that it needs to be this way up with a black side pointing to the sky. It even has the word up on there. Probably can't see it, but it's there. So I'm not sure. I don't really like the idea of it being all the way down on the dash. I'd rather have it up here, but I'm not sure where I'm going to fit it. I've relented and I've popped the GPS sensor down there. Seems pretty innocuous to me down there, and I could run the cable all the way down the A-pillar. So that is what I have gone with. Hopefully it will function fine there. Hopefully the windscreen wiper won't be interfering with it. I can't imagine that it's that sensitive, but yeah, hopefully that will do. Come up against a problem on my install, and it's this. This is the factory fitted button, for want of a better word, that the mirror goes on, but it isn't compatible with the Wolfbox. I have tried to remove it. I've done what everyone suggests, which is to heat it up. I got it hot enough and the whole of the windscreen hot enough that I was worried that I was going to crack the windscreen, and still no sign of the glue on the back of it melting. So I'm left with a dilemma. I can either stick the Wolfbox clip to the side of it, either to the left or to the right, but I don't particularly like that because it's not a very clean install having that other button there remaining. Or I can do what I am going to do, which is I've just ordered a mirror that's compatible with that, and in the short term I'm just going to use those elasticated rubber ladder things to attach the Wolfbox to that, and then I'm going to look into whether I can get a window fitting company or someone at some point in the future to remove that button for me and fix the new one on. So it's going to be a couple of days until that mirror comes, so all action on the Wolfbox is stalled until it does. Right, it's 2 days later. The mirror's come that fits onto the OEM button. It's on there. It's secure, I think, but by golly, it's wobbly. I don't think I can fix it with anything sticky because you have to twist it to put it on, and as you twist it, you have to have it pushed hard against the windscreen. So if I stuck anything to the mirror or to the button itself, I think it would just twist it off. So I've got the black ladders, the back ladders on the mirror. So I'm going to try fitting it now, and I am going to see whether it stays on or not. I've got to make sure that the camera can get vision. So that's it's got to be over really sort of like to one side rather than centrally. Okay. Well, like I say, it's a bit wobbly. I don't want it to fall down, but that seems to be in a decent position. Whether it will survive rattling around driving or not, I don't know. But until I can get that button removed and replaced with a Wolfbox compatible one, I think that will have to do. I'm going to set it up now. I've got to work out which one of the wires goes into which slot, and I'm not going to put the camera into its final position because I've got to lift a solar panel in order to get to the where the wire comes through the gland on the roof, and I think I'm going to save doing that until I've got multiple wires to put through. So I'm just going to connect the rear camera, poke it out the back doors from inside, and that will be good enough, and then I can try switching this on and see how it works. Well, I've switched it on and it seems to be working. Rear camera's working and front camera's working. Probably can't see that particularly well because of all the reflections, but all I can say is it's very clear to me sitting here. All I've done so far is to, well, set the language and tell it to flip the rear camera. So what all you're seeing there is actually the inside of the back of the van. And then into my garden at the front. I've managed to pull the wires out. So I'm going to have to undo that sun visor on the passenger side and put them back up there. Probably need to pull a little bit more of the rear camera wire through, and I hope I've got enough GPS wire, having put it all the way down there at the bottom. But yeah, I've got to play with the features, but broadly speaking, she's in and looking good. Okay, so I'm going to call it a day with this one now. I do need to get to grips with the functionality and the various features of the Wolfbox G900Pro, but I'm not driving the van at the moment, and I've got a horrible feeling that if I invest a lot of time in that now, maybe when it comes to driving the van I'll have forgotten and I'll have to go and do the whole thing again. So I'm going to leave that until I'm driving the van. I did want to clarify a couple of things. There are quite a few other videos out there on the Wolfbox installation, but a lot of those people have been sent the Wolfbox for free, and I don't think I mentioned it, but I didn't get it for free. I paid full whack on the website for it, so it's all been purchased with my own money, so there's no sponsorship in any form as part of this video. The second thing is I want to clarify exactly what I bought, because I mentioned at the beginning that I was a bit confused on the website. Well, I bought the extended package, which included everything in the basic package plus 3 items: an extra year's warranty, the polarizing filter, and the additional mount that allows you to stick the button on the windscreen and mount it directly without the use of a rear view mirror, which I'm not using now, but I will use. I bought that pack because, well, basically if you wanted the extra mount, then it was cheaper to buy the extended pack and essentially get the extra year's warranty and the polarizing filter for free, along with the mounting pack. Now, included in both the basic and the extended pack is the OBDII wiring kit. If you either needed or wanted to wire it directly into your fuse box, you will have to buy an additional wiring kit that will have the spade end connectors and the 3 separate wires. Also, I talked about reaching the rear view camera. Now, there are 2 lengths of cable that you can buy as accessories on the website. One I think is 33 feet and one is 50. I'm presuming that the standard cable that you get in the basic pack is the 33-foot cable. So if you're making a direct route in an L4, I think you'll just about have enough cable. If you're going on a convoluted route up and down or across the van a couple of times, you'll probably need to buy the additional 50-foot cable as a separate item. That may also be the case if you're in a longer van like a Sprinter or maybe a Crafter or the MAN TGE. So hopefully that will clarify things. There is one other thing though, an important thing I learnt during this installation that I wanted to pick up on now. Oh, fucking hell. Fucking thing. Well, I've just almost killed myself. Does anyone else find this? With this handbrake on the outer side of the seat, if you're wearing shorts, does anyone else find that as you get out and step down, your shorts basically go over the top of here and you end up, well, close to castrating yourself? And with that, I'm going to finally bring this one to a close. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hoped it was helpful and informative. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of my Citroen Relay van build.